Good evening, Miss Julia. Good evening, Miss Julia. Good evening, Miss Noha.
Good evening, Miss Hannah. Good evening.
Good evening, Miss Noha. Okay, how are you, Miss Julia? Good evening, Tuta. Hi, Nabila. Good evening. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, good. Okay. Okay, so let's start. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back and happy mentoring. Okay. Today, inshallah, as I sent on the WhatsApp group, we will have a session about correcting errors. And I want to start with your expectations of this session. Okay. Tell me, what do you expect about today's session? Something that you would like to discuss together. If you don't want to speak, just type in the chat box. So what's your expectations of our session today? Can you think of any idea that we may discuss together today?
Yeah. How Miss Hannah?
Hi.
How to deal with the different situation with the student in the class?
Okay, so dealing with
Problems or most common common issues with the student.
okay, related to error correction. Because
Yeah.
this is our topic today. So dealing with students' errors or mistakes, yes. So, okay, this number one. Okay, thank you, Alia. What else?
How to be a mentor, a good mentor with my student.
Okay, how to monitor my students. Okay. Or mentor. Let's say mentor. Okay. Okay, what else? So again, our session today, the title is Correcting Errors. This is the title. So I'd like you to expect what idea that we may discuss together. So dealing with the students' errors, how to mentor our students in the classroom. Okay, what else? Okay, what comes to your mind when I told you about the topic? So what do you expect when we talk about error correction? Okay, we have, yes, how students overcome problems at class. Okay. What kind of problem, Nabila, do you mean? So Nabila in the chat box wrote how students overcome problems in the class or at the class. Okay. So what do you mean with problems here? Related with the content, yes, okay. Okay. And Miss Noha, we have another one, which is there is peer correction and self-correction. This is what comes to her mind. Peer correction, students correct each other, and
Each other,
self-correction,
yeah.
yes, self-correction, students correct themselves.
And also, I think how to be effectively with class management.
Yes, so class management related to error correction.
Yeah, I think that this is what after my brain when you said that about how our expectation, already I think about class management.
Okay, so how the teacher can manage the classroom while correcting mistakes or dealing with the students' mistakes or errors.
Yes, with affected.
Yes. Okay, many thanks.
With professional ways.
Yes, in a good way, professional way. Yes, that is helpful for all students. Okay, so any other ideas? Okay, I'd like to show you our session outline today, which is, okay, and I hope these points meet your expectations. Okay, we will discuss the following questions: what, when, who, and how. We will discuss 4 questions today. What should I do about the error as a teacher? To correct or not correct? So all over the classroom and during any period, we have spoken mistakes and errors that students make. So what should I do as a teacher to correct them or ignore them? To correct or not correct? So we will have some ideas that help me to decide when to correct and when to delay or ignore correction. Okay. Number 2, when should it be corrected? So once students make mistake, I should correct them or not? Should I delay correction or make it at once? Number 3, who should correct it? Who should correct the error? The teacher, the students, or the classmates, as Ms. Noha said, self-correction, peer correction, or teacher correction. And number 4, how should it be corrected? And here we will discuss techniques that help the teacher to correct errors. Okay, so again, we will discuss 4 questions: what, when, who, and how. So this is the whole outline today, and inshallah they will meet your expectation of the session. Okay, so let's start with the first question. What should I do about the errors? So to correct them or not? And I have a question here. Does every mistake need to be corrected? And today we will talk about oral correction while speaking, while students speak. Okay, so we want to talk about written mistakes. We will talk about spoken errors and mistakes. Okay, so as a teacher, does every mistake need to be corrected? What do you think?
Yes.
Alia said yes. Okay, so I have to correct every mistake that students make. Teresa, yeah, go ahead.
According to what we are dealing with, if we are after fluency and it is a grammatical mistake, it's okay, let's skip it. We are after fluency. If we are dealing with grammar and it is a grammar mistake, I think we should, in this case, correct it immediately.
Yes. So Teresa said it's all about the focus. If I focus or the activity focuses on fluency, so not to focus on the form or the accuracy. But if I focus on fluency, it's supposed to correct the mistakes. So it's all about the target, my target. If I focus on fluency or accuracy, I totally agree. Okay. Nabila in the chat box, what are the kinds of mistakes? Yes. Okay. I think, Nabila thinks that it depends on the kind of mistake. So if it is just a mistake, so students can correct themselves. If it is a slip, for example, a slip of a tongue, زلة لسان, a smaller mistake that the students can correct it. So it's all about, is it an error or a mistake? So if it is an error, I correct it because students can't correct the error. If it is mistake, I can correct it because mistake, students know the rule and they can self-correct. I think, Nabila, do you mean that? Okay. So I'll start, in fact, okay, yes. Okay. Okay, Nabila. I'll start with the case studies that I sent on WhatsApp group. I sent 6 case studies on WhatsApp group, and I told you to think about them to choose the right decision that teacher should take in such situation or scenarios. Okay, let's start with number 1, and we will go through them from 1 up to 6, and at the end we will answer this question: what should I do about learners' errors? Okay, so let's check that. Number 1, here I have a situation. The students do a role play in groups of 3, and many of them make the same unimportant grammar error, but it doesn't stop them from communicating. So what do you think about this situation? What is the best decision here? Immediate teacher correction. So teacher correct this unimportant grammar error, peer or self-correction, or delayed correction. What do you think?
Delayed correction, I think.
Can you tell me why?
If these mistakes are unimportant and they can't stop them from communication, so why I delay this correction after they finished the role play?
Yes, so Ms. Noha, I think that it's delayed correction is the best decision here because the errors are not important and it can't affect the communication. So students, yes, are still communicating with each other. Okay, Alia, I think you raised your hand.
She said what I was wanted to
okay,
say.
So you have the same opinion.
Yeah, I just I was confused with the pair or self-correction or delayed correction, but I will for me I will delay after the finishing the activity.
Yes.
So
yes. Okay. So you have the same opinion. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone here have a different opinion?
Delayed correction also.
Yes, Shaima. Yeah. Welcome. Yes. So Shaima, yes, also has the same opinion. Delayed correction here is the best decision. Yes, in fact, I agree with you because the delayed correction here. Why? Because here the grammar error is not important. It doesn't affect the communication between students. So it doesn't interrupt the communication. So it's okay to delay it. It may be at the end of the lesson or the next lesson. Okay. So here we have a question to decide whether to correct or not. Does the error affect communication or not? So if it doesn't affect communication, so it's okay, delay it. It's better not to correct it now, okay? So it's better to delay it because it doesn't affect communication, okay? So this is number 1. Let's move to scenario number 2 or case study number 2. A student without knowing uses an expression incorrectly. wrong way. And by mistake makes everyone laugh. The classmates laugh. This makes him embarrassed. So put in your mind that he get embarrassed while speaking because he made a mistake. So what should I do as a teacher? Delayed meta-linguistic correction, peer or self-correction, or immediate teacher correction? What do you think? So I feel that these students felt embarrassed. So what should I do as a teacher?
Encourage him. I do this a lot with my student.
Okay, encourage your
encourage him to again try.
Alia, your voice is not clear.
We correct them with making the connection of the network.
Okay, can you say it again? Yes, can you say it again?
Okay, what happened with me in the class, I corrected with him by loving. I encourage them. I encourage everyone that he had to do mistake one or more than one. It's naturally, and we have to move it without loving with him. I didn't love that. I get him to feel like that, or any kid.
Yes,
I encourage them by in the moment and ask him to think again and try to make it simple to get the target of the situation.
Yes, I
feel anyone that he has to bully him or something like that.
Okay, I got, but I'd like you to say what you said again. So you like to encourage the students to try again and say the correct form or the correct sentence. This is what you mean? Okay, Alia, I think you mean that you will encourage the student to correct himself, to self-correct. Alia, I think you mean that you will encourage the students to self-correct. So you choose peer or self-correction. This is what you mean? Alia, are you here? Yes, I think you are here. Okay, Alia, I hope you make your.
No, I'm with you now. No. Oh, yeah.
Okay, yes. So which one you would like to choose? Peer and self-correction?
Hey, you hear?
Because your voice is not clear enough, but
okay.
I guess you say that if you want to repeat what you said, it's okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so to move in another aisle to speak good, like something like that. Okay, from my point of view, what I do in the class, I mean, I encourage them. I encouraged him or her what he do by mistake to think again and more than one, just to avoid him to feel the same person. I do the correction with love. I think that.
Ah, yes. So it's all about encouraging him or her to continue and
think again and just we
yes.
human beings. And,
yeah, sure. Yes.
Yeah.
This
and
is
do
point,
much
by the way.
mistakes.
Yes, it's okay to make a mistake, and it's supposed to have such safe environment. So it's okay, don't feel embarrassed while making mistakes. So which one do you prefer here? Peer and self-correction? This is your choice?
Yeah, I think yeah. to make them my point to make them all of them to involve is I make them involved in the situation that's make the learning is fast.
Yes.
Involve them.
Yeah,
Not
involve them while
tell him the answer. No, I just make them all of them to involve.
Yes. Okay. I got your point. Yes. Okay. So it's all about supporting this student and involve the others. Okay. Thank you, Alia. And Teresa, yes, I'm sorry. I kept you raise your hand. Okay, go ahead.
It's okay. In this case, I think it's immediate teacher correction is better to stop this case of embarrassing for this child. He doesn't know what he is doing, and this mistake you said without knowing. It means he can't correct himself, and it is embarrassing, and everyone knows, so it is no time for peer correction. In my opinion, I think immediate interaction with this error will save the moment.
Okay. So Teresa prefers immediate teacher correction to end the situation and save this embarrassed student. Yes. Noha said immediately teacher correction. Okay, does anyone has a different opinion? So what do you think how to deal with this scenario? Okay, so okay, if you agree with Teresa and Noha, could you please raise your hand? Just raise your hand. If you agree with Teresa and Noha, they think that it's better to correct the mistake immediately or the error immediately. So yes.
As for me in my class, what I do, first I encourage my students.
Sure, yes.
To say and to correct this mistake, but in a kind way. After that, if he couldn't say the right way, I corrected myself.
Yes, yeah, the order, yes, is logic, but here I have a certain situation that my students feeling embarrassed. So what's the first step I have to do?
I stopped the class to from laughing.
Yeah, as you said, immediately teacher correction.
I said that, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
But
okay.
First, what I do, I encourage him. After that, I corrected myself.
Okay.
But you mean I have to choose one peer or self-correction or immediate teacher correction?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, it's a
what I said in the chat box.
You said in the chat box immediately.
Yeah.
Okay, I got your point.
In this situation.
Yeah, you were confused between
what I said that what I do in my class with my students.
Thank you, Noha. And Shayma, I think you raised your hand. Shayma, do you want to add anything? I think you raised your hand.
لا هو كان نفس الإجابة تقريبا بس عشان أنت قلتوا برفعوا إيديكم لو موافقين فرفعوا.
Yes. Okay, so immediate teacher correction, another one. Okay, in fact, the best decision here to take is immediately teacher correction because it's supposed to support this student. And I want to end this situation because the student here is embarrassed. So it's better to immediately correct the error and stop this situation. It's supposed to end this situation because the students, yes, he can't correct himself. We have an error, the students can't correct himself, and the students, the other classmates are laughing at him.
Yeah.
So which is better here? not to encourage the student to self-correct or to have peer correction. Which is better is to correct the error immediately. And I think in this way, you will support the students more, because you will tell him, it's okay, you made a mistake, but I'm here. It's supposed to provide you with safe environment, to not to feel embarrassed, okay?
Yeah.
I think it will be helpful more in the other lessons to take risk, and it's okay to speak and make mistake, okay? So here it's supposed not to put our students in an embarrassing situation. Once I feel that my students is embarrassed because the classmates are laughing at him, so it's okay. I'll do that. I'll end the situation, okay? And I'll give him such a safe environment, okay? So this is my opinion, and I agree with this solution, okay?
But if the situation here is different and the other student didn't live at him, so why I can't make a try with him and
Yes.
so help him to
No, sure, of course.
him to correct itself.
Yes, it will be a different situation, Ms. Noha. So
Yeah,
here the
yeah.
teacher doesn't feel embarrassed. Okay, so it's okay to encourage him to self-correct or to have peer correction. Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, this situation what I meet in my class, but the other student didn't laugh at their friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have the same point here. If I feel that the students in the class laugh at their classmate, so it's supposed to stop that, to end the situation and correct the error immediately without delay. Okay. Okay. So this is case number 2. Let's move to number 3. A shy teenager gives a short talk, speaking activity, about his favorite football player. He often leaves out the verb to be in his sentences. So instead of saying he is tall and thin, so it's supposed to say he tall and thin. So what do you think? Again, here I have a shy student. He is talking. It's a speaking activity. So what is the best solution here? Immediate teacher correction, peer or self-correction, or delayed correction? So what do you think?
Peer or self-correction, I think.
Noha, peer or self-correction? Could you tell me why?
To encourage him to speak a lot, and to encourage him to not to be shy when he talk. So okay. I try with him and encourage him to see, and this is the simple mistake. I think it's important in the sentence, but if he says this, if says the sentence and this is a small thing, I can't try with him, and he will say verb to be in.
Okay, so you will encourage him to self-correct, or I encourage the other classmates to correct him?
Self-correction.
Okay, so peer or self-correction. Okay, does anyone have another idea? Do you agree with peer and self-correction? Teresa, go ahead.
I think in this case, I can delay correction because he is a teenager, and the teenagers are lazy to interact, and he is a shy teenager, so we can't stop him. We can't correct him at the moment. That will make him never participate again. So I let him finish his story, and we can correct the mistakes at the end.
Yes, later on.
Right.
Yes. Okay, so Teresa thinks it's better to delay correction. Okay, at the end of his talk or his presentation, it's supposed to correct the error. Okay, what do you think? Okay, does anyone has another opinion? So here we have two opinions, peer and self-correction and delayed correction. So what do you think? If you don't want to speak, just type in the chat box. I'll check it. Okay, I think here delayed correction is better. Why? Because he is a shy student. So avoid to correct the shy student, especially when they speak in front of their classmates, in the front of the classroom, when they have a presentation or a talk. Okay, so avoid to correct them. Why? Because I want to support his motivation and his self-confidence. Okay, so if I correct him in front of his classmates, I think I want to support his self-confidence anymore. Okay, I suppose to encourage him to speak more, Miss Noha, but not in front of his classmates. So if I know that I have a shy student and this shy student is speaking in front of the classroom, it's better to avoid correcting. After he finish, I can give feedback and correct his errors, but not while he is speaking, because he is a shy student, and shy students, I think they are usually not self-confident. Okay, so it's supposed to support his self-confidence and motivation to speak more. So it's better to not to correct the shy students in front of their classmates. Okay, so again, when I have a shy student and the shy students give a short talk or a presentation in front of the classroom, it's supposed not to correct him immediately. It's better to delay correction. Okay, why? Because again, I wanted to support him and support his self-confidence. Okay, do you have any question? Yes.
Yeah, in my class, I have, as for me, I have a shared student. When he talk, and do this mistake, I encourage him. So I encourage him to talk. After I say, explain the sentence, he understand my point of view and he talk more. So he need a help.
Yes, I'm sure he needs a hand. Yes.
This way, as for me, is good. I do with my students. I deal with them with this way, and he after he was a shy, he after that he raised his hand and he wants to speak more.
Yes, I got your point, Ms. Noha, but suppose here I have a speaking activity, and this speaking activity is a short talk. A short talk means someone is standing and all of the students are looking at him. So if I stop him and correct him, he will feel embarrassed. And I think it's better because the focus here is fluency. So it's better to delay correction. After he finish, I can give some notes, maybe at the end of the talk or at the end of the lesson without saying his or her name. You can correct the mistakes without saying the name of the students. Okay, don't say that Ahmed made a mistake while his short talk. No, we today we have a repeated mistake, for example, which is you forgot verb to be while talking about your favorite football player. Okay, without saying a name. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I'll check books. Yes, here's the example or the case here. He is a teenager. Yeah, I think a teenager wants to be more gentle. The young students don't feel embarrassed when you correct them, but the teenager feels. Okay, the teenager students. feel embarrassed when you correct them in front of their classmates. This is the point, yes. Okay, okay.
Okay.
This is number 3. Let's move to number 4. Number 4, a learner reports back after a peer work activity. He makes a couple of slips with language he already knows. What do you think? As we said in the very beginning, slips are smaller mistakes that students can correct. It's easy for them. Yes, Alia, go ahead.
Yeah, peer or self-correction, because he already knows.
Yes, so he already knows, and they are slips. So slips are easy to self-correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone here has another opinion?
No, I agree with Alia.
Noha agree with Alia. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone here has another opinion? What? Okay. I agree with you. Yes. Here the students just have slips of tongue, as we say in Arabic. Yes. And here they already know, so they can correct themselves. Yes. So it's supposed here to encourage them to self-correct or peer correction. Yes, exactly. I agree with you. Thank you. Okay. Let's move to case study number